So here we are with the lovely Dolly, and we are about to transform my hair into a 40s look. I've never had a 40s look before. So what are you going to do?
So we're going to do a poodle first. So you think Lucille Ball type, all up on your head, very glamorous, really iconic 1940s look. Yeah, it'll be a really fun transformation for you.
I can't wait. I mean, obviously you see me with my 50s do all the time, and when I saw you at Goodwood recently, you kind of revamped my version. I've been trying to replicate that myself for ages, and I can't do what you do. So Dolly was at last year's Weekender doing updos for people, and so of course now with the 40s being the theme for one of the days for this Weekender, jumped at the chance of having a go at a bit of a 40s do. So we may even squeeze in two, do you think?
Yeah, I think we'll get two done today for sure.
So my hair is pretty knackered. What's your verdict when people come to you and say, my hair will never do anything vintage?
I love it when people say that because I always prove them wrong. Yeah, I like a challenge. So I think where your hair is slightly shorter than to get it all up onto your head like the poodle, we're going to do a fancy chignon at the back to bring it all in.
Chignon?
Yeah. I know.
Sounds like a cake.
Yeah, to bring it all in, we'll make it glamorous and yeah, get that Lucille Ball look.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait. Well, good luck. So one question I have is about eyebrows. In preparation for having my hair done, I put on some makeup. Now my makeup probably is wrong for the 40. It is wrong for the 40s, isn't it? Oops.
It's slightly more on the 50s, even towards 60s side, if I'm honest.
I just can't help myself. I can't help myself. So this is just like default. This for me is, I thought, you know what? I'll go subtle. This is subtle. This is subtle. So I thought I'll go really nice and subtle. I think I've lost all perspective of what actually is over the top,
especially after the weekend that you've had.
Yeah,
well, to be fair, I mean, you're not covered in glitter. And
no,
you know.
Well, I am. You just can't see it. See my ears. So I live between sort of the vintage and the cabaret world. So I have lost all perspective of what is too much.
I understand.
You know, when I was younger, I used to be really paranoid about my eyebrows being so dark, and. One of my nicknames at school was Eyebrow because because I had bleached blonde hair. It was the 80s, and my eyebrows were so dark. They seem to have lightened. So these have got no product on whatsoever. Now, normally for a normal day look for my 50s brows, I would do. I've got a Smashbox thing, which is I just darken these slightly for daytime and give a little bit of a point going straight down with the tail. That's kind of my default. So I thought what I'll do, I've actually trimmed to give a finer. Wow. I need your advice.
You really thought this through.
I have tried to think it through. I know. So what's your advice about 40s brows?
Well, you're definitely right with the subtlety of the 1940s. If you think about it, all of the 40s rationing was in 40s didn't actually the rationing didn't stop until well into the 50s. So, you know, there wasn't a lot of products to be had, and a lot of the products were either sort of homemade or things that had been carried over from the 30s.
Yeah.
So really, the 40s makeup is very natural. They were really focused on
like this
looking
then.
Perfect, exactly. Like you just woke up like that.
I totally did. So they wouldn't have worn eyelashes and stuff.
No, not really. I mean, eyelashes had been invented. Eyelashes were actually they're quite historical eyelashes. You know, even right back until the Elizabethan time, they had false eyelashes.
Oh.
But they weren't sort of commonly used day to day. In the sort of 20s and 30s, they were used for like the Hollywood starlet, and they were actually like individual hairs that were placed on, like our extensions now that we have, the kind of extensions that we have. So they were around, but they wouldn't have been used in the 40s. And really, it was about trying to look healthy, trying to look, you know, not malnourished in any way, or you know, it's. You know, it was all about sort of healthy glow. They did like a red lipstick. It was still quite dark like
okay.
the 30s, not as dark as the 20s, but it was still quite a dark lipstick, a deep red. Sort of the 50s really brought it up much brighter. But yeah, in the 40s it was brown eyeshadows, a little bit of eyeliner, but it would have been a pencil eyeliner, no liquid eyeliner. And
No liquid eyeliner?
No, they didn't use liquid eyeliner. Not really, not to the extent that we know and love from the 50s.
Okay.
Natural lashes with a bit of mascara, and you would have had the cake mascara at the time. But obviously, as our modern interpretation, we don't have to go exactly historical. I like to use false lashes when I'm doing a 1940s look, and keep the eyeliner to the edge of the eye, not winged out. And the eyebrows really just a case of filling them in, so nothing particularly overstyled. If you think sort of the 1920s was very thin, very stark, that massive like doe-eyed look. No, they'd want to grow them back by this point.
So if you like a 50s look, and you tend to do it like myself, so maybe just a toned down a more muted version of the 50s
absolutely look. And I think we all love a false eyelash, let's face it.
Well, I do.
I love them.
Yeah.
So
I used to hate them. I used to be
Really?
absolutely adamant that I couldn't do with lashes, and I can't wear my glasses with lashes, which is obviously a problem. But since working in sort of cabaret and sort of stage work, an eye just doesn't look like an eye without a lash on, basically. I don't wear them every day, and these are sort of relatively subtle ones, I kind of thought. So
sorry,
I didn't realise there was a dog on the floor. So wow, I wonder what glue they used for it. You say Elizabethan times, I'm fascinated by that.
To be honest, I don't know, and I don't know if I really want to
know. Knowing what else they got
kind
up
of gross
to.
animal fat, I'm sure.
That's true.
Or, a mix of they were quite sort of.
That's true.
Yeah.
So advice really for an eyebrow is, I could probably get away with just leaving mine as they are, actually.
Yeah, you really could leave it like that. I mean, we could just fill them in with a little bit of powder.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't go all out with the pomade that we know and love.
Because I have one of my eyebrows is a bit sort of lighter here, so I might just sort of just fill that bit in. But that's interesting.
Just a little bit of powder.
I deliberately didn't put any product on, thinking I just don't know, so I thought I'd ask an expert. So I hope that's answered your eyebrow questions about
and eyeliner
and
eyelashes,
and basically don't do what I've done. So before we have the photographs taken, maybe should I but photographs always bleach out anyway. So
I think with modern photography you want to enhance everything anyway. When I'm at the studio, it's always a case of, even if you want a natural look, you still need to have a fair amount of
I think we should ease myself in gently with this. I've got like 10.5 months to sort of maybe tone it down a bit, but I think the key thing is, I think eyebrows are so key to a makeup look that I think if you get that wrong, then it kind of changes everything. So it's okay.
This eyebrow fashions have been important over the decades.
Very important. So we'll do more on this again, but this is just a little insight into eyebrows. So I hope that's helped. Okay, Dolly, tell me what's happening now.
So I've created the back that no one can see yet. So, helpful.
Fab.
And now I'm basically forming the structure of the poodle. So I'm going to sort of create a frame and then create all the curls and the swirls on top. Yeah, there is method in it.
I have always wanted to have this hairdo, the whole Lucille Ball thing, but
it's going to be such a shame to take it out and do another do now.
I know. Sorry, we have got a photographer arriving very soon, so she can capture the do. But I know I'm really, really excited. I have never had this done. And I just didn't think my hair was long enough for it. I always thought you had to have tons and tons of hair to...
It's a certain amount. I mean, your hair's really thick, so I can afford to sort of do with the chignon at the back and still have a lot of hair on the top to create the poodle. So this is going to be quite a sort of a British 1940s poodle. So it's not going to be one of those massive ones just right at the front, because that is very much a American historical interpretation.
Yeah. We've actually just been talking about the differences of the American and the British. I mean, I have bought lots of vintage from America because, of course, their clothing was a lot bigger for longer. I've always said due to rationing over here, people were much smaller. Did I make that up, or would you say
I think you've got a good point there.
Yeah. And so, of course, my little avatar on my Weekender, my cartoon, is possibly sort of has American influence, but I think that's just my thing, I think.
Yeah, and I just, 1940s happened in America too.
It happened all around the world, apparently.
I mean, it was a thing.
I think, obviously with my weekends, I've always stressed to people that this is not one of those sorts of events where you have to really study and be an absolute diehard vintage.
It's not reenacting.
It's not. That's exactly what I mean. It's not reenacting. It is about your own interpretations, and I will not have anyone feel uncomfortable who doesn't have the sort of the most authentic whatever. If you want to get a reproduction 40s anything you like, then it's fine by me. So I'm the epitome of that. Oh, look at how cute that is.
Your little bumper bag. It's much easier to not do this back to front, actually.
Oh, should we stop now and let you carry on?
It's fine. It's fine. I might redo it.
Talked enough now. Anyway, okay, hint taken. Okay, still here with Dolly, having my hair done, and I want to know now about lips. Now, I haven't put any lipstick on today because obviously I've got an outfit, a fabulous outfit from Rock and Romance that I'm going to be putting on for the photograph.
Beautiful.
And I didn't obviously know what colour to go, but given my lack of knowledge about eyebrows and liquid liner and lashes and everything 40s, what's your advice about lips for the 40s?
So lips were still quite dark. So obviously if you think coming over from the 30s, it's still quite dark, but not as berry as the 20s. So the 20s was very like a dark berry. 30s came into quite red. 40s was still very inspired by the 30s. It didn't really progress that much during the 40s, but a nice deep red, an overdrawn top lip. You really want to accentuate the Cupid's bow.
Oh, okay.
And
that's a real hangover then, isn't it, from the 30s?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, maybe not quite as wide. You wouldn't bring it as wide, but you would overdraw the Cupid's bow because, it makes it really nice and kissable.
Yeah.
But you would try and keep to the natural lip line, especially around the bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely overdraw the Cupid's bow.
Well, that's quite good to hear because obviously in my other life, the cabaret world, I kind of do overdraw the top lip and actually relatively stick to the line of my bottom lip, so that's quite nice. But
you'll still look like you.
I'll still look like me. Hooray! And so the sorts of lipstick. There's a really good film where they're making a lipstick, and it was. They still had the twisty lipsticks, but didn't they also used to use like a compact?
Yeah, I think. It's as much as like a personal choice, the same as you would nowadays. You might prefer to use lipstick out of a palette or use it out of a bullet. But both were available, but it's not particularly 1940s to have it out of a palette.
Okay.
But yeah, just a nice sort of a deep red. Overdraw your Cupid's bow, but keep it, not too wide. And then natural lips.
And no glitter and no gloss.
No glitter, no gloss. Quite matte. You want to blot it. Give it a couple of coats and blot it.
Okay.
And that just nice kissable pout, but